Hello everyone, this is Austin225, and earlier today Funko revealed what the security breach plushies are going to look like, at least from like the stock photos that we have or whatever. And basically this video I'm going to be covering my thoughts and opinions on them. No, this is not part 2 of the Funko video, but I promise that's going to be an entirely different video for itself. I'm just simply going to be talking about the new wave of plushies coming out that got revealed today, and I will make the actual part 2 of Funko sometime soon. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it with the new plushies that got announced. And from earlier today, a lot of people have been mixed on this. Some people say they're perfectly fine, good, and there's others who say that it's worse than the twisted ones. And I can honestly see why it's worse than twisted ones. I kind of don't really see like how it's like really good, because like I'm honestly mixed on this. Before I get into the individual plushies themselves, I just want to point this out. I'm pretty sure this is going to apply for all of them. Actually, it is. All of them have been used to remolds, and it's kind of annoying. Particularly, it's really obvious with Vanny. And not only that, as of right now, we don't know if there's going to be any more plushies that's going to be added to this wave, and if there's going to be any exclusives and what they're going to be, if at all. So this might be the first wave ever where there's not going to be any exclusives, which I'm kind of upset about that, because I always, like to add some variety to locations of where plushies are going to be. So let's talk. I want to talk about Vanny first. Vanny honestly just looks really depressed, or stoned, however you want to look at it. I say depressed. It's like it knows that it just got converted to a marketable plushie and hates every second of it. Not only that, for some reason they decided to give Vanny a neck, and I don't think they've ever really done that to any of the plushies, because if it did, it would make things a little bit more weird. Like, can you just imagine, like, they decide to freaking give the puppet plush, like, the freaking long and thin neck, like how it does in the actual game? Like, that would look so stupid. And I don't know why that they decided to give Vanny a neck. Like, I get that she's human and all that, but if you're gonna try to make her human, like, just basically have her model it based off like how Balloon Boy and Ballora were. But to be fair, that might look like a shits, to be honest. Honestly though, I think I'm gonna end up picking this one first up, because I mean it looks depressed and it basically reminds me of myself. Haha, funny. But I think I'm going to still pick her up, despite the plush looking not really good, and the colors are a bit off too, by the way. So with Vanny out of the way, let's get into Freddy next. Oh boy, I got a lot to say. Okay, first thing I want to get out of the way. Why did they decide to print on the bow tie all Freddy plushies that have the bow tie or whatever, except for Twisted Freddy? Freaking, they always had like an actual bow tie and wasn't printed on. Why did they decide to do this? Like, why? Another thing too is that this is basically a remold of Helpy, and they don't even give him the shoulder pads or anything like that. Like, it would look a little bit better if it had the shoulder pads, but they couldn't be bothered with that. And if they even did give him the shoulder pads, I guarantee it would just print it on his arms, because that's exactly how Funko is. I can guarantee you, if he was given shoulder pads, it would be printed on his arms. And honestly, it's just printed on galore. And I think the colors like might be just a tiny bit darker, maybe just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But that's more of a nitpick than anything else. And they brought back the little like plastic nose boop it has, and it didn't bother like giving it like any sharp teeth, but prefer if they tried to give Freddy any like sharp teeth like how it did in the photo, it would probably look extremely bad. But it's just like, come on. Not only that, I think the hat's a little bit weird compared to the other Freddy hats that we gotten. Like, I don't know, it just looks a bit for me, you know what I mean. First thing out of the way of Roxanne is freaking remote of Funtime Foxy, and maybe a bit of Mangle, but this one just looks like a mess. Like, honestly, freaking printed on galore. I don't even want to know what they decided to do with, like, with the back of her hair and all that. Like, it just looks bad. And if you haven't watched it, but Puggles Pizzeria actually pointed out that, like, her eyes are, like, within her eyes, like, they're all, like, messed up. And yes, they do. Honestly, this is probably the worst, or at least a lot of people say it's the worst. Like this one, they could have designed her so much better, but it's just printed on garbage. And this is the stuff that you would see from Good Stuff. Like this is a plush I would see from Good Stuff. Like that's how bad I think this plush is. And it's really unfortunate because a lot of people have been liking or simping for Roxanne ever since she's been revealed. So it's obviously going to be a huge disappointment. Now, I have to give this the benefit of a doubt and just hope that like these are just like the photos and like the plushes in person will be like a lot better, like kind of like what happened with the action figures. Everyone was mixed about them, but as far as I can tell online, ever since it's been released, a lot of people started liking them more. We can only hope it'll be the case for the plushies, and when the plushies do get out, more have been revealed, because like I said earlier, there still has been no exclusives or anything like that, and this has been a little bit small. Like literally this wave's been small. They had to add another Freddy in the stock photo. But anyways, yeah, Roxanne is just, I don't like her, and I really hope that some changes are made before their release. Let's talk about the one that a lot of people seem to like the best out of this wave, and that is Chica. And honestly, I can see why it looks really accurate, or at least the most accurate compared to like the other ones. And I think this is like a kind of like a trend that's been going on with like Chica, where like the action figure looked terrible, but it actually looked a lot better in person. We can only hope it's gonna be the same with Chica. Same thing with the rest of them, obviously, but you know, I don't know if I'm the only one to notice that. If you have, let me know in the comments. But they still like had her like printed on and all that, and they're basically doing Good Stuff things. Not only that, they reused the toy Chica mold, and a lot of people are upset about that, but to be fair, it's the only mold that's really been working. Like the first one we got with the very first Chica plush and the prototype, flat out awful. And I mean, it is redundant how they keep using it, but at the same time, kind of see why, because the toy Chica mold seems to be the one that's working. I mean, it's not the case sometimes, like Twisted Chica, like a lot of people hated that one. Speaking of which, unpopular opinion, I actually like that plush. Now calm down, don't freaking start rating me or whatever, fucking me in the ass. Okay, people can have opinions. I'll talk more about that in my Funko Part 2 video, but anyways, I can see why they like this. Also, before I move on, I will say that with her printing, that she literally has her freaking eyebrows printed on her eyes, and that's kind of gay. Next, we got Monty the Gator, and honestly hate how he's shaped, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, they basically made the Happy Frog mold worse. The fact that they printed on the glasses and all that, it's just such a Good Stuff thing to do, and it just, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, to be fair, the printing on does look okay. And another thing is, we don't know if this guy's going to have a tail, and if it's either going to be printed on, or if it's going to be like an actual tail, like something like how the bonnet plush did, like how it had its own little fluffy tail. We're hoping for something like that. Honestly, there's not too much to say about it. It kind of inclines to the others, and like I said, the freaking fact that they decided to print on the glasses, I think, is absolutely ridiculous and lazy. Like, it's just really upsetting. As of right now, it's not looking too good for these, mostly. I mean, to be fair, there's still a decent amount of people that actually like this wave, but I mean, there's still a lot of question marks with the design choices they made, and you think that these design choices were approved by Scott himself. And not only that, you think that Funko would do a better job with the fact that Sanchi got his license back, and it's probably going to take a little bit before Sanchi releases like new, like actual plushies, but you think with this in the back of their mind, they would try to make something like a lot better, but this is the result that we get. Now, to be fair, this is simply just a stock photos. We have not seen one yet in person. Like, we have to keep that in mind. Like, that is the only thing that's kind of helping Funko out in this case, is the fact we've not seen them in person, and we haven't seen their backside. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you get the idea. And a lot of people are saying that this is worse than the Twisted Ones wave, and I disagree with that. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will be as bad as the Twisted Ones wave. Alright, listen, if there's a wave that have Stanley in it, it's automatically the worst one. I don't give a crap what y'all have to say. Anyways, we can just hope that this wave somehow pans out to be decent at the very least. This is Austin225. I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.